Hello, and welcome to the Empowerography Podcast. This is a platform created for women's voices to be heard and a place to share their stories, journeys, and successes with the world for the purpose of helping other women who might be on similar journeys. We are empowering women one episode at a time. I'm your host, Brad Walsh, so kick back, grab one of your favorite beverages, and enjoy the stories. If you're looking for jewelry that makes an impact on your self-care routine and your style, Empowerography would love to offer you a discount code to one of our exclusive partners, Quartz and Canary Jewelry and Wellness Company. Please use code EMPOWER15 to receive 15% off upon checkout at www.quartzandcanary.com. Quartz and Canary is truly the place where spirituality meets style. Hello there, Brad Walsh here, your host of the Empowerography Podcast. Today, my guest is Lynn Nicholls. She is a psychic medium and intuition expert based in Niagara Falls, Canada. How are you doing today, Lynn?
I am doing great. How are you doing, Brad?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here today and share a bit about your story and your journey with us, and for being part of the Empowerography community. I appreciate you.
Oh, I look forward to it, and I am appreciative of you giving me this opportunity to talk about intuition and to be among a group of women who are so strong and helping other women lift themselves up.
Well, let's jump right in, Lynn. So, as I mentioned, you're a psychic medium and intuition expert. That you work with clientele worldwide. How long have you been running a business as a psychic medium and intuition expert?
As an actual business, I've been doing this since 2005. So I've been in business for 15 years. Wow. And have not stopped since. So, and I am almost booked up for 2021.
Holy, that's incredible.
I know. Job security.
No right? Kidding. A lot of people want to find stuff out. That's crazy.
Yeah, of course. And that's the part about my job is that I love is that my clients, who I also call my friends, they trust me and they know I'm genuine and they want to come back.
Yeah, which is good. Repeat business is always good.
For sure.
Are most of your clients, though, based in North America or Canada, or is it just scattered everywhere?
Well, they are scattered. I think I just did a call for one of my regular clients in New Zealand. She is my furthest away. Okay. Most of them are in North America, lots in Vancouver, and lots in Los Angeles.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Now, you say that you're taking intuition out of the woo-woo world and into the mainstream with a common sense, no bullshit approach. What does that mean? Can you explain that?
Of course. I want people to realize it's not some mystical power that is bestowed upon you. It's just a very natural ability that we all have. And you've probably done it. You think of somebody and they call, or you meet somebody for the first time and you either really like them or you don't like them, mm-hmm. or you take one road to work instead of the other. And then there was an accident on the other road. So it's just trusting your gut. And I don't BS people, because if you came to see me, or even if you're at one of my shows, I'm not going to make things up just to make you feel better.
Right.
And if, for example, if I said, "Who's Lisa?" and you say, "Oh, Laura," I'll say, no, that's not right. So I won't, I'm not going to say, "Oh yes, look how good I am." It's like, nope, that's not it. And I'm not going to say how wonderful you are and how great you are if you're not being wonderful and great in a situation. Like you get me in my natural state, which is I'm going to tell it how it is. And I'm also not going to tell you to go lay down and put crystals on your forehead and on the bottom of your feet. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but if people like that, that's great. But my usual comment I get is people give me a quick up and down look, and they look at my office and they say, "You're really normal looking." What did you want?
Are you supposed to look a certain way as a psychic medium?
Apparently, I'm supposed to have black winged eyeliner and maybe a cape. I don't know. I really don't know.
Wow. Do you find that there are a lot of those in your industry that will just tell people what they think they want to hear, as opposed to being genuinely straightforward and honest?
Oh, of course. Of course there are. And I think people, you want people to feel good and be happy. But I think in this case, that's where my industry gets the reputation of being a fraud.
Mm-hmm.
And those people, though, will not get anybody going back to them because it didn't happen or that didn't feel right. And that's what you have to trust.
That's what I don't understand. Why would anyone bullshit about something like that? Because you're not going to get repeat clients. They're not going to recommend people either.
No,
it makes no sense to me.
It really doesn't. But there's a tiny bit of sense in that people that are really struggling and really desperate, they do just want to feel good.
Yeah.
And when they come away feeling good, that's where that type of intuitive comes in handy. But the next time they go back, when they're actually feeling like, a little more empowered, they'll realize, oh, that wasn't what I thought it was in the first place.
Right. Now, you say that your specialties are connecting to the other side and showing people how to access and elevate their intuition. So you teach people how to do what you do? Is that right?
Yes.
Yes. And how long have you been teaching this skill?
Well, if I look back, I've been weaving it into my readings since I began. And so for example, if somebody asks about their children, so I'll say, okay, so as I'm reading them, I'll say, okay, so now what I'm doing is I'm picturing 3 children and I'm waiting for one of them to turn a different color or to vibrate or to throw a name at me. So I do weave that into my readings, but I've always done workshops and seminars because I was a teacher for 20 years. I taught kindergarten and grade 1. So it's in my blood to teach.
Yeah.
And I just want people to know how easy and how simple it is when you have a few techniques, how you can get in touch with your own intuition.
Okay. So would you say that you believe that everyone has the ability within them to communicate with the other side and be a psychic medium and intuition expert? And it's just a matter of whether or not the individual actually taps into or discovers it within them?
Absolutely.
Really?
Freaking-lutely. Yes.
Wow.
And yeah, we all do, but everybody's good at something, right? So some people may be naturally better at it than others. So if you asked me to sing to you, that would not be a very nice situation because I'm just not naturally good at it.
Right.
And I could take singing lessons forever and I would never be great at it. I honestly don't think I'd be good at it. So you do have an ability to do it because your brain is actually, it's a prediction making machine. So this is where we get out of the woo-woo. So your brain has taken every experience you've had, all of your sensory input, whether you know it or not, and it's stored it deep in your subconscious mind. So when people are actually able to bypass their conscious clutter of every day and access that subconscious mind, it will know how to guide you to your next best hour, your next best day, or your best life, just because it knows, just based on prior experience. So that's not woo-woo.
Right.
That's just,
life.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. And can everybody be a psychic medium? Sure you could. Should you? Probably not, because everybody's got skills. You need to do what you want to do and listen to your intuition. Can you connect to the other side? Of course you can, but it's really hard to connect to those closest to us because we want to hear certain things and we want to feel certain things.
Okay. Now you also host a regular IG series live series called Intuition at Work. Can you tell us a bit about the series and how long you've been hosting it?
This I love. I think I just love hearing about others experiences. And if I didn't do what I do, I think I'd be a psychologist or a psychiatrist because I love how the brain works. I started Intuition at Work on Instagram on May 26th of 2020 because what else was there to do in a pandemic?
Very true.
So people were canceling because they didn't want a virtual reading, even though it actually works just as well as an in-person reading.
Right.
And
does it though? Does it really? I mean,
oh, totally.
You don't get a better read or vibe or feel off the person if they're sitting there with you, as opposed like in person, as opposed to over a computer or.
No, not at all.
Really?
Not
Okay.
at all. Because all of your information is floating around just like radio waves and TV signals. So I just have to tune into the Brad channel.
Right.
And then I'll get your information. So people are actually finding it really quite like great on video or phone call or email or text because they're more comfortable. They're sitting at home on their bed with no bra on. So they're super comfortable. Right. So, so this series I started because I wanted to show people that successful people use their intuition at work, and that information and intuition is used to make the best possible decisions. And you will hear this from people like Oprah and Steve Jobs and Richard Branscombe. You will hear them say this over and over again. And it's actually involved from that to encompass things like mindset and finding your purpose.
Mm-hmm. And so how has the reception been to your IG Live series?
People really enjoy it. It's been quite positive because they're seeing people with normal jobs. So not the psychic yammering on about use your intuition, but they're seeing doctors, business owners, celebrities, authors, all saying, this is what I did. I thought it was the right thing to do. I felt like it was the right thing to do. So I did it.
Okay. Now, you recently also started a weekly psychic party on Clubhouse. Can you tell us a bit about that and how well that's being received?
Yeah, this is so much fun. For those of you who don't know Clubhouse, look it up. It's an audio-only platform. And it gives me my live show fix because I used to do pre-COVID, I did shows there was maybe sometimes upwards of 500 people there.
Wow.
And giving messages to the other side, and to hear a room full of people just laughing is an incredible feeling. So on Clubhouse, what I do is I start out the usual way I would do in a show, and I'll see, okay, so who has a father named Robert who died of bone cancer and broke his left shoulder when he was 4 years old? It has to be really specific. And then the people in the Clubhouse audience will raise their proverbial hand. Yeah. I'll bring them on stage, and then they get their message. And then I have time for people to raise their hand and just ask whatever question they want specifically, or, hey, Lynn, tell me what you got for me. And it is incredibly, it's so much fun. And the day after, I get a slew of texts or emails saying, you're not going to believe what happened, or you're not going or I feel so much better. I didn't get a chance to say goodbye to my grandmother. Thank you for that piece.
That's awesome.
It is.
And how long have you been doing this on Clubhouse now?
Oh, I just got into the club, probably in January.
Okay.
And or late December, and just kind of feeling it out and seeing if it would work for me, and just for fun, like just getting to know people from around the world and learning new skills.
How long do you run your room for on Clubhouse when you do these Clubhouse parties?
About an hour. Sometimes it goes for 2 hours. When I do Facebook Live and Instagram Live, it's very similar, and those could go up for hours. Yeah. But it's so much nicer having an actual conversation with someone rather than commenting back and forth or texting back and forth.
Yeah, absolutely. How old were you when you discovered you had these gifts of being a psychic medium and intuitive?
Oh, this goes back. Like I My earliest recollection was when I was about 12 years old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And how did you discover you had these gifts?
I think it was prior to that. I do remember kind of feeling things and seeing things that other people didn't see or feel or hear, but I never said anything. You know, growing up in a Catholic family, you're going to go to hell, right? So you don't say
the devil's in you, Lynn. The devil's in you.
Yes, people throwing holy water at me, and we don't want to go down that road. But it's
an exorcism's being done.
Yeah. Hey, stranger things have happened.
Very
but
true.
It's the story I tell, which is the honest truth, is I was about 12 years old, and my sister and I shared a bedroom. We had twin beds, and my bed would literally shake, like seriously, like in The Exorcist, it would shake.
Wow.
And I thought, oh, I'm going crazy. But one night my sister woke up and said, could you stop making all that racket? So it's like, okay, it's not in my head. It's actually happening. And it went on for a few nights. And I said, is it my dog under the bed? Is it an earthquake? I don't know. And getting a little scared because, The Exorcist had just come out. And so finally I was like, I am so scared. How's this going to stop? Like, I'm just sitting there talking to the air. And a little boy that I could see through walked up to my bed and said, excuse me, I know you can help me. My daddy killed us all, and he killed himself.
Whoa. That just gave me chills, Lynn.
Oh,
that just sent chills up me.
Oh, like you need to be colder today.
Yeah.
Right, in the middle of February. And I was like, I don't know how to do that. I'm 12. And where do you want to go? And he points and says, we want to go there. And I didn't know where there was. So he was seeing a doorway or an opening to something I couldn't see.
Right.
And I said, I don't know how to do this. And he said, I'll show you. So he did. And I couldn't tell you for the life of me exactly how I did it, but I know the father was a little bit ornery, and he did not like that I was doing this. So when they had all crossed over, this little fella whose name was Leo came back and he said, thank you so much. We're all at peace, and I have a gift for you. And I'm 12 in the 80s, so I'm thinking I'm getting an Atari or a Nintendo.
Or an Intellivision or something. Yeah. ColecoVision, one of those.
Yeah, something like that. This is really cool. And nothing ever showed up, but the things I could see and hear and feel before became so much more magnified.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah. And honestly, I am the biggest skeptic there is. I do not believe in a lot of things. And if I didn't see that with my own eyes and feel it and experience it, I would say I was crazy, but it was so real. And actually years later, my cousin, we happened to be chatting, and she was, I got to tell you something about the house you used to live in. She said, I swear I used to see a little boy walking around there. And it's like his name was Lee or Leo or something. Wow. And that's when I went, oh my goodness. Wow.
Holy shit.
Yeah, there was a lot of swearing going on at that time.
I'm sure. Wow, that just gave me chills. Jesus. Wow. Lynn, for you, was it an internal struggle at first then to come to grips with and understand and realize the gift you had and decide to use it to help people?
Well, it was a struggle in so much as you can't say anything to anyone. Like we said before, you're going to hell. Yeah. Right? And not that I believe in hell at all, but it was a struggle because it wasn't. But the struggle was trying to figure out what the heck was going on, because at that time, all we had was the public library.
Right.
There was no internet. So it was a lot of trial and error. And the struggle got kind of put on a back burner because what I was doing wasn't normal. And that's not what a good girl should do. So even though it was sitting there chirping at me, I would ignore it. And and you're 12 and 13 and 14 and then boys. Yeah. So you forget what you were the gifts you were given. And I went on to become a teacher. And so I never struggled with it in the sense that, what do I do with this? Except that I struggle with, I'm not listening to this.
Right.
And things became a struggle, because when you don't listen to what you're supposed to do, things become a struggle. And it took a good swift kick in the head to finally learn to use it to help people. And I did along the way, like helping friends, like, I don't think you should go out with that boy. Things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that when we do ignore the signs, sometimes it takes getting hit over the head with a two-by with what it is that's trying to awaken you or tell you, hey, listen to me, I'm trying to tell you something here. It takes that crack in the head to wake up and say, oh shit, I better start listening.
Oh, exactly. Because your intuition, it always whispers. It's always very subtle, and it's always very quiet. So if we're not paying attention, or we're consumed with what to make for dinner and when to get the kids, we're not going to hear it. So if you don't listen to the subtle, I call them the soft no's or the soft whispers, they get harder and harder.
And start screaming until they're screaming in your ear and you finally listen.
Yes.
So when did you really embrace your gift and start to use it to help people then?
So this is the 2x4 you're talking about.
Yeah, your 2x4 moment. Yeah.
Yeah, my 2x4 moment. It was in 2005 because 2005 is very comparable to 2020 for me because in that year, the government changed, my job got cut, and my mother passed away. It's a lot. And there was a lot of other things happening there. And I thought, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? I've got 2 children. We've got a house to support. And I thought, you know what? I could go back to supply teaching and see if I can make that work. But, why don't I just try doing readings? I mean, I've been able to do it. I'll try doing this. And within 3 months, I did not have to set foot in a classroom again. And I've learned that talking to dead people is a heck of a lot easier than talking to 10-year-olds.
That's hilarious. I'm sure it's easier mentally.
It really, really is.
Although you wouldn't think, though, because you'd think that dealing with that type of thing and communicating with the other side is got to be mentally stressful as well.
Oh, not at all.
Really?
Not at all.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
It's actually exhilarating. And
wow.
And if it's stressful or draining, I shouldn't say this, but there must be something that's being done wrong, because it's magic. I hate to say this, but it's like Disney. It's magical. Because when you see the people walking away from you and saying, you've given me more hope than I've had in years, or you've watched people have a reconnection with their mother who's passed and they feel so much better, you just get energized. So I end my day on a high note all the time.
Okay. Now, I have to ask, how are your kids with all this? And you using your intuition? I mean, first of all, you have mother's intuition, that every mother has that, but yes, yours is obviously heightened with other things. So when your kids would say to you when they're younger, Mom, I want to go do this, or Mom, what do you, like, they'd bring home a boy or a girl, because you have a boy and a girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when they'd bring home a significant other or whatever, and you got a bad vibe off of them because of your abilities, and did you talk to them about it? And did you tell, hey, listen, you know what? I'm really not getting a good feeling. And how did they react to that type of thing?
Yeah, that's a tough one, because there's a fine line between being a mom and being a dictator. Mm-hmm. So even though sometimes the dictator routes you have to take, but
yeah,
it was basically having to step back and let them make their own choices, but keep them, just at arm's length. And if I did feel something was off, just keeping an extra eye on things and being more in tune to just the mom power, like what, where are they going? What are they doing? But a funny story is my son, when he was younger, we went camping with my best friend and her son, who were the same age, and they rode their bikes ahead of us on the trail. This was ages ago, and they got lost and they got out of walkie-talkie range. And so I went ahead in my mind, and having not been at that campground before, I was said, oh, they're near a small orange brick building and there's the number 3 on it. And she said, that's Day Beach 3. That's where they are. And so in my head, I followed them along.
Wow.
And yeah, it's a cool skill to have. And it's not because I do what I do. It's just because if you get past, like I say, the conscious clutter, you can figure it out.
Yeah. So, I mean, do you get feelings about bad things that are going to happen to people? Like, I'm just trying to think of maybe something that maybe happened with the kids that you thought, and I would assume, of course, that you're going to get, if you get something that's that bad of it or that strong of a feeling that, no, you absolutely are not going to do that because I can see what the outcome will be. And not that you're saying that to your kids, but you're thinking that in your head where you have to step in and say, okay, no, you're not doing this. Has anything like that ever happened?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And then I'll start off with, how do you, like if I was talking to one of my kids, how do you actually feel about doing this or going there? Oh, it's going to be fun. No. How do you actually feel? Oh, I don't want to go because there's this person there that really, I really don't like. And I think they want to hurt me or whatever the response was. It's like, okay, you know what? You need to trust that. And to tell you the truth, this is what I'm getting, but I'm going to let you make your own choice.
Yeah.
And they always did. Not always. They're kids, right?
Yes, of course. Of course. I was just curious about that because of your abilities and with the kids, how they would react when you'd say something like that. That's very interesting. Okay. Mm-hmm. Lynn, what do you think your unique skill set or superpower is that's helped you become successful?
Oh, boy. I think it's the information I can get it very quickly and in a very meaningful way. So I would say the skill set is, I don't want to say accuracy because so many psychics use that term so flippantly, it's ridiculous.
Right.
But for example, just yesterday, I did a reading with a lady who's a cyclist and she cycles in a group. And last year she had a rather bad cycling accident. She had crashed into somebody and she wanted to do another road trip. And she was worried about that happening again. Right. And I said, well, as long as you stay away from Carolyn, you'll be fine. And that's exactly what I heard and was exactly what I told her. And she said, Carolyn's the one that fell on top of me when I crashed. And that's why I got hurt so bad.
Wow.
So I think it's the bang on messaging that is my superpower.
Okay. Now, speaking of success, how do you define success? What does that word mean to you?
For me, success is things feel right. And as silly as that sounds, it's just like everything feels right in my world. That's when I feel successful.
Okay. What would you say is one of the most important things you've learned in your life? And what was your life like before learning it? And what was your life like after learning it?
Well, the most important thing I learn is what I teach everybody else is just to trust your gut, trust that woman's intuition, trust your intuition, and to do what you're good at. So before I trusted my intuition, I was anxious, I was depressed, I was, very tired all the time, and there was no reason for me to have to nap 2 or 3 hours a day, except I was just mentally exhausted because I wasn't paying attention. And I don't have to nap anymore. And I'm, 10 years older than I was back then. But now you're energized. Now I'm energized and I'm calm at the same time. And I think one of the most important things is that I've learned is to trust my gut and to do what I'm good at. So I'm not going to do algebra because I will be anxious and depressed. So,
Lynn, to what extent do you think that we shape our own destiny and how much is up to fate?
Oh, I get this question a lot, and it's such an important question to ask and to answer because there's only 2 things that are written in stone: birth and death. Right. Oh, and taxes, right? We got to put taxes. Yeah, 3, sorry. So between birth and death, you have your choice. You You're human, and it's all about making choices. And when you choose option A, these options open up. And when you choose option B, these other options open up. So you can get to death a lot sooner or a lot later, depending on what you choose.
Right.
But how you get there is entirely up to you. And that goes back to just trust your gut and make the best choice. And sometimes it's just common sense, and a lot of people are lacking in that.
Well, yes, common sense isn't very common, Lynn.
No, that's true.
Yes. Speaking of common, what is the one common myth about your profession that you'd like to debunk?
Oh, they think we have a special skill and that only a few people have it. That's a common myth. It's everybody has it. The other common myth is we're all frauds. We're all scammers. And that's really not true.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of frauds and scammers out there. And my poor clients have experienced it because twice in the last 2 months, I've been imitated on Facebook, and they're sending out messages for readings and trying to get people's credit card numbers. So that kind of enhances the fraud aspect of it.
Right. What was a turning point in your life, Lynn, and how did it affect you?
I think we go back to 2005 again, when my mother passed away and my job got cut. And it was awful at first, but it truly set me on the right path. It truly did. And that I'm not saying all of a sudden my life was great, because of course you have to grieve the loss of,
yes,
I had to grieve the loss of my mother, but it made me rethink everything. And to, that cliche, life is short, do what makes you happy.
Yeah, that is so true. I mean, you think about all the people who go through life and are miserable doing the jobs that they're at, or working at the companies they're working at, and they just stay there just because of self-limiting belief or because of fear or whatever the case, all of that rolled into one, and just go through life dreading waking up in the morning and going to work. And I understand it. It's hard to navigate that path and figure out what you want to do. And then if it is, let's just say it happens to be entrepreneurship, to make that jump, it's scary. But people always come up with excuses why they can't do it as well.
Of course. Right? Of course. And I get it. You need a job to pay the bills.
Yes.
So make the best of it, but find other parts in your life to find joy in.
That's
and
right.
Make the best of that job. I don't care if you're flipping burgers at McDonald's or running a multi-million-dollar company.
Yeah.
Good old Snow White, whistle while you work. Make it happy.
That's it. Well, the world needs ditch diggers, right?
Yes, everything. Absolutely.
Yeah. What would you say is one of the best pieces of advice you've ever received?
Oh, I give out advice so much, it's hard to remember actually getting any. But I think it goes back. See, we're going back to pre-2010 when I had to see a counselor, because it was just like, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm so lost. I'm so anxious. I'm so depressed. And the best piece of advice was the shortest piece of advice she gave me. It was stop. That's all she said. Stop. And kind of like what you just mentioned, Brad, limiting beliefs.
Yeah.
Stop it. Stop.
Yeah.
Stop thinking that. Okay, well, I'm just going to lay in bed all day and cry. Stop.
Yeah. Get out of your own head.
Yeah, exactly. Just stop, pause, take a deep breath.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now what do you need to do? What do you need to do to make yourself happy?
Right. What makes you feel inspired or like your best self?
Ooh, besides chocolate and wine. Let me see.
Chocolate and wine together?
Yeah, well, of course, right?
Oh, all right.
You have to. I don't know. I'm just making that up. I feel this is going to sound so cliche, but it is so true. I feel inspired when other people are inspired. When, like I said before, when people walk away happy and feeling they've got this new lease on life, and they have this huge aha, oh my gosh, I know what to do. That's when I'm inspired, and it makes me keep going. So I really appreciate when people the texts I get or the calls is just like, holy cow. And like, I have no magical power. I did not do that, but a good psychic, a good intuitive will guide you to where you need to go in your life. She won't say, do this or else.
Right.
So I like when people just discover who they're supposed to be.
But I'm sure there's got to be clients that you've sat with that perhaps they've gotten bad news, and I would think that not every single client walks away bouncing on cloud nine because of what you've told them or what's happened in your reading, right?
Oh, of course not. No. There's not. Sometimes there's not much bouncing because they are having a hard time. I do want people to walk away with some sort of direction,
right,
though. But like I said, I'm no BS. If I feel that you, not you, Brad, but you, whoever I'm talking to, has been an incredible bitch and is just being an awful human being, I will say, you need to stop being such a bitch. And
that's definitely a no BS approach. I love it.
Like, stop.
Well, why sugarcoat it, right?
That's exactly. And they walk away, and some people walk away thinking I'm the bitch, and they're like, you're just a terrible human being. And then, maybe a few months later, they're like, oh, Lynn, I was a bitch. So no, not everybody. I wish everybody would be bouncing away, but no, some people walk away. Some people walk away and they're saying, I don't believe anything you said. Nothing you said makes sense. I don't recognize any of the names, nothing. And I said, okay, that's fine. I said, if you feel like you're wasted your time, please don't pay. Like, honestly, do not pay. And sometimes they don't, but within a few months, all those things happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it usually happens with a person who's about to embark on a new adventure in their life, whether it's separating from a relationship or moving towns. It's like, well, Lynn, you just named all of my new neighbors in my new town.
Wow.
So it's like, so they walk away really disappointed. Yeah. And then a few months later come back and say, holy shit, that was cool.
I'm sorry, Lynn, you were right.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? Some people I never hear from again, and I don't know what happened, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And that's totally okay.
Yeah. Who would you say have been the 3 most influential people in your life?
Oh, this was a hard one for me to figure out. The first one was easy. And automatically you go to the big powers, the Oprahs and the Ellens. And it's like, you know what? It's none of those people.
Yeah.
And it's always been first and foremost, my daughter.
Right.
Because that girl has balls, and she will tell you what she needs to tell you, and she will do what she wants to do. And back when I was struggling, I really admired that in her. And I looked up to this little girl who was so much smaller than me and thought, I need to harness more of that personality, because I didn't grow up like that.
Right.
So she's first and foremost my first inspiration. My second, I would say, I would go above me to my mom. And she taught me through nothing direct, but she taught me what not to do, don't settle, don't. Because I saw her living a life and just, being upset and depressed or angry and feeling like she had to chase 4 kids around and not finding her joy until she had grandkids and those things. So it's like, okay, so this is what not to do. And the third one was a tough one, but I'd go back to my kindergarten teacher, Mrs. Reynolds, because she just adored me. For what reason, I don't know, but she would write me Christmas cards every year until she got too old to write Christmas cards. And just because we were the family across the street from the school, and I was the first one from that family, so she felt very connected to us. And she inspired me because I thought, somebody believes in me, and that's such an amazing feeling.
Wow. Okay. What is one of your favorite quotes?
Oh, this is when I sign off with this on social media all the time. You are never alone.
Okay.
Because we're not. We have resources here on Earth. We have friends. We have family. But we have a huge cheerleading squad on the other side that's always rooting for us.
Interesting. All right. Lynn, what does the word empowerment mean to you?
Empowerment is finding your own superpower and using that to help others while creating your best life. So you can't leave yourself out of the equation. You do have to take care of yourself first. It's like when you're on the airplane, you put your own oxygen mask on first to help others. So get your own, find your superpower, create your best life, and that will definitely have a ripple effect on everybody else.
I love it. Okay, we're going to do a little rapid fire section here that I usually do through the podcast interviews. So next, 10 questions roughly are 2, 3, 4 word answers, okay?
Okay, gotcha.
How would you describe yourself in one word?
Inquisitive.
What's the first thing you notice about a person?
How I feel when I'm around them.
If you were writing your autobiography, what would the title be?
That was fun. No, seriously.
All right.
That's what I would call it.
All right. What's the first thing you think when I say the word future?
Potential.
If you could teach the world one thing, what would it be?
Exactly what I'm teaching them. Trust your gut.
What's one thing you want but cannot buy with money?
Health, of course.
If you had a theme song that played every time you walked into a room, what song would that be?
Oh, my favorite song, You Shook Me All Night Long by AC/DC.
All right. If you came with a warning label, what would yours say?
Sharp wit, don't get cut.
I love it. What's your favorite stress-reducing activity?
Oh, anything outside, but just sitting outside and having a tea.
If you could change one thing about the world, what would you change?
Oh, goodness. Right now, COVID, of course. But if it was not for COVID, I would say, I would like to say there's some absolutely horrific things that I would like to change, but I would like to change all the things in my own little world and hope that it had a ripple effect, and then people would change their little world. So, she told 2 friends and she told 2 friends.
Yep. Beautiful. Last one in the rapid fire. What is your personal motto?
Be nice to yourself, because I've spent so many years being very mean to myself in my head that it's and you talk to yourself more than you talk to anybody else. And that's what's important, is you just be kind to yourself.
Right. Very true. Lynn, what's the most recent investment you've made in yourself?
Time.
Time?
Because I found I was getting so busy and feeling like I had to get this done and get that done. And it's like, no, you know what? I'm just going to sit back and take time for myself.
Okay. If you could sit down and have a 1-hour conversation with anyone in the world, alive or dead, who would it be and why?
Oh, that's easy. That would be my mom.
Yeah.
She's passed. I would love to know exactly what it's like over there. I want to know who she's met up with. I want to see if she actually got to see Elvis in concert, because she loved him. I swear he's still holding concerts over there. And yes, Elvis is dead, everybody.
I love it.
And I would love to know, because when you get to the other side, you have a different take on things because you can see the big picture. And I would love to hear her take on things now.
If you could step into my shoes, what would you have asked yourself that I didn't ask you?
I'd probably ask why I'm wearing Brad's shoes.
You're so clever.
This is weird. But you know what? I think you asked an amazing array of questions, and I thought about it. I don't have anything to add.
Okay, well, thank you. That's good. I'm glad to know that I've fulfilled that end of my end of the bargain there, and asked you enough questions and probed enough. That's good.
You're good at your job. That's why you do that, and I don't.
Thank you. What is one of your biggest failures or life lessons, and what did you learn from it?
Oh, staying in a relationship way longer than I should have. And I learned to listen. Again, here we go. Listen to the soft no's before they become hard no's.
Before they become 2x4s.
2x4s to the head. The chair to the face. Yeah. Gosh. Yeah. It's like you don't want to be Wile E. Coyote Wile E. Coyote
Yeah.
running down the street and getting hit with an anvil in the head.
That's right.
Yeah, just staying in a relationship with some who shall remain unnamed.
Yes.
But I have found that I've done that often. You stay with people, friendships or romantic partners, way too long, and it just it's so taxing on your emotional system. It's not worth it.
It is, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
If you could go back and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that piece of advice be?
Ooh. Don't do what you think you should do. Do what you want to do.
Beautiful. Simple and to the point.
Yeah.
Very impactful, though.
I hope so, because we do spend a lot of our times or days thinking, what should I do? What's politically correct? What do my parents want me to do? What does my husband want me to do?
Yeah.
Screw that. What do I want to do? Without, being destructive or destroying anybody else's self-esteem. Yeah. What do I want to do?
Lastly, Lynn, if you were to deliver your last 30-second speech to the world, what would that last 30 seconds sound like?
Okay, am I dying or do I still get to live after?
No, you still get to live. You're just imparting your wisdom unto the world.
Okay, so I don't need to say, tell my kids I love them.
No.
Okay.
No, just words of wisdom you want to impart.
Okay. Woo. Okay. Nobody ever asked me for actual wisdom. So I would say to appreciate everyone's role in your life, whether they were a dark cloud or a silver lining, they have made you into who you are. And don't dwell on the dark clouds, but learn the lessons you learned when you were dealing with the dark clouds. And to coin a cliche, I'd say grow through what you go through, because that will bring new opportunities to have a better life. And above all, have fun. Enjoy your moments. Listen to your intuition, because it knows how to make things okay and it knows how to get you there. Just listen.
Beautiful. I love it. Lynn, thank you so much for taking the time to be here today and share a bit about your story and your journey. I've had an absolute blast chatting with you. It's been such a pleasure. We've had some laughs and I've so enjoyed our conversation. I thank you so much. It's what you're doing is incredible and it's incredibly intriguing to me. I love it. So thank you for taking the time to be here and for being part of the Empowerography community. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. You're so very welcome, and thank you for having me, Brad.
Once again, my name is Brad Walsh, host of your Empowerography podcast. Today, my guest has been Lynn Nicholls. She is a psychic medium and intuition expert based in Niagara Falls, Canada. Thank you so much, Lynn. I hope you have an amazing rest of the day.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you very much for listening to this podcast. If you haven't yet, please be sure to subscribe, rate, review, and share with all your friends. You can find me at visuphoria.ca and follow me on Instagram at Empowerography Podcast and on Facebook at Empowerography. Please join me next time for another inspirational story from yet another amazing woman.